Welcome back to BYO Beats Podcast, your beer and music podcast. This is 60 Minutes with the Boyz, April edition, 2025. Sorry, this is coming out really late on Wednesday, perhaps even Thursday morning, depending on how the uploads go, because I've been having some issues with our software in the past few weeks, where it doesn't like to take my files. I have to take it like 5 tries. But anyways, better late than never. April's been pretty busy for both of us, I'm sure. A lot of changes happening. Yeah, we're gonna be moving into a house, which is pretty exciting. First time owning a home in this economy, even.
Right, yeah.
Pardon me, I had to sneeze.
Thank you.
I gotta
Congratulations
drink.
on that, though.
Oh
But
yeah, thank you, thank you.
yeah,
It's a stressful process.
I'm sure it is. But I mean, you're doing it the right way, like, or how you told me you're doing it last week. You're able to work at in the evenings instead, and actually see houses in the light of day. That's actually
Well, so actually,
good.
we've been waiting for Janelle to get home from, because she works further away. So we gotta wait for her to get home first. But all the tours we did were in like the sunset golden hour, I guess. So
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
yeah. But anyways, I got a beer. It's Change of Heart from Bell's. It comes in the big hearted variety pack. This one I bought too long ago.
Mm,
I've been cleaning out my fridge.
makes sense.
Yeah, I've got some Oberons from last year that I need to dump out because so we just went camping last week with the dogs. We rented one of those camper vans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. I'm glad we did because it ended up being like we got really crappy weather. It snowed our first night and second day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, granted we're up at elevation, so it's a little bit different. We headed down to like southwest Colorado, and we headed into New Mexico a little bit. It was really cool. I'm glad we were able to do it, and we brought the dogs. The dogs seemed to have a good time. Except the second it got dark out, all they wanted to do was go to bed. They didn't want to hang out. They had no interest in hanging out by the fire. So
Oh, were they afraid of the fire or?
I think so. Scoob, I think, was just tired and just wanted to go to bed. I think Odie was a little bit afraid of the dark, um, but also
Okay,
just so tired that she just wanted to go to bed.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Dog fatigue is like a strange thing to me, just because you obviously they can't tell you, but they do with their body language and
Yeah.
things like that. Um, so my parents have a really big backyard, so we don't walk our dogs as much as we probably should have or should. And we took one of them on a walk this a couple days ago, and it was a longer walk. We went for about 2.5 miles, and yeah, for a dog that is not leash trained really and wants to pull the whole way through. And I mean, we were working on it at the same time. We were working on like leash training and trying to get her to walk with us instead of pull ahead of us, which is difficult, especially for like a 3-year-old dog that hasn't had anything like that yet. But yeah, she was dead tired the rest of the day
Yeah.
because like, and that's learning at the same time too. Like you're, yeah, I know yeah, the big days of learning
Yeah.
are
Well,
tough
and
for
that and
me.
that's especially true for dogs. Like the key to getting your dog tired out is not necessarily to exercise them because they're as a species are kind of optimized to be able to do physical activity all day depending on the breed. But what really tires them out is smelling new things, experiencing new things, like make them think, and that's what tires them out. So, being in all these new places, out in the outdoors with all these interesting smells, like
Right.
tires them out real quick.
Mm. It's cool to know. that makes a lot more sense based on what we were doing. So I looked up a video. I don't know how credible it was, but it gave us a few things to try. One was he wanted a barbed collar, and I was like, how about we never do that? But he said you can do this without one. It just takes 5 times longer. I was like, yeah, it's going to take 5 times longer then. But the first thing was to pop the leash, like not pull on it so that, like, it hurts them, just so to get their attention with the leash, and then have them come back to you. The other one was literally just you're gonna sneak up behind them a little bit so there's some slack in the leash, and then just turn around, go the other way. That one worked really well, and that definitely made her think, like, oh, what's going on? I guess we're going the other way now. And then we slowly go back to going the way we were before. And we had training treats, so that helped as well. But yeah, it is so much. And we passed two or three other dogs, and she does not usually play well with dogs she doesn't know. Like with our other 2 dogs, she's fine, but she did really well compared to the other 2 dogs that were passing us.
That's always good.
Yeah, like she was very excited. Obviously, she was still pulling on the leash, but she wasn't yipping and doing what she has in the past. Actually, it was 3 dogs. 2 dogs she didn't know. 1 dog was our next door neighbor's dog, and she just kept jumping up and down for that. But still not barking or yipping or anything. And I was like, okay, so that's just your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll introduce my beer. Well,
oh yeah,
I can. I've got the Wango wheat from Atwater, and I don't think I've had an Atwater that wasn't their like Java. What is that? Java Porter, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Java Vanilla Porter or something. I have had this one already because I bought a 6-pack. I thought it would be good. It's good. There's not that much mango, but it also does say with a bite of mango instead of, yeah. So it's a wheat with a mango twist.
It's a wheat mango, not a mango wheat.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've had this change of heart before. I'll try and describe it a little bit. It's definitely more it's like a more toned down version of the Two Hearted Ale. This is considered a pale ale, as opposed to what I believe is an American IPA.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit more fruitiness, kind of citrus vibe. But what the main difference is still bitter. But I think the main difference is you don't get that like typical dry mouthfeel that you get at the end of an IPA. So I guess it can be considered a little smoother. I mean, it's still there, but it's not nearly as aggressive as an IPA. So it's nice. It's pleasant. I wouldn't go as far to say sessionable, but it's good.
Yeah. Maybe for you it could be sessionable, or no?
I mean, if the spirit's right.
Gotcha. You brought up camping earlier. I wanted to tell you about this guy that I found on Instagram the other day. This is a couple weeks ago. Have you heard of the Chubby Trekka?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So he's this guy from the UK that his job is now traveling. And right now he is currently walking from the UK to Vietnam.
Whoa.
Yeah. He started in September. He's now in Turkey.
Very nice.
Yeah. And he posts, at first it was a post every single day on Instagram. It turned into some YouTube vlog type stuff in the past month or so. It's just because I think people got really into it and wanted to follow it a lot more, and so they were asking for a lot more information. But yeah, it's he's sometimes he'll be in hotels, but he has a full pack to camp like on the spot wherever he is. And yeah, eats relatively unhealthily, but I mean it's not bad because he's walking, what is it?
Probably like 30 miles a day, maybe more.
Something like that. Yeah, I think he usually is between 30 and 50 kilometers because I mean, yeah,
Oh,
UK
right.
is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kilometers.
uh, but most of the time he's around 40 a day.
Yeah, that
And I was like,
is.
that's wild, man. And yeah, you can eat whatever you want if you're walking 40 kilometers a
Mm,
day. Um, I don't know why he's called the Chubby Trekka because he's not like a huge guy or anything. Like, I don't know.
maybe he used to be.
Could be. It could be. But yeah, check him out. Shout out to the Chubby Trekka.
Yeah, I'm not nearly adventurous enough to do something like that.
I mean, yeah, I didn't. That's not. I
No,
wasn't
I'm
really
just trying
trying
to
to
say like
compare
it takes a special kind of person to be able to do something like that.
for sure. Like mental toughness
Oh yeah.
is got to be in your top priority for that, and I think it is for him. Like I'm sure he worked on it beforehand because yeah, there's so many obstacles that have been in his way that you could never think about. Like, who? I mean, one you might have thought about is like Google Maps sending him through a forest for the next 8 to 10 kilometers, and there's animals in forests, and if you're gonna camp in the forest, then when is a wolf gonna show up at your campsite? Which happened to him, like, and his reaction was, "Oh, I better start a video." It's like,
Cameraman
what?
never dies.
Right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, this guy got to be a little crazy at the same time for wanting to do this. Like, you're walking the length of 2 full continents.
Yeah.
That's wild. Uh, he has to like tape his toes up all
Oh
the way
yeah,
so
I
that,
bet.
for the blisters. He has people join him once in a while. I think it's his girlfriend that's with him right now. She's been with him for the last month, and he just asked her to join him on the rest of the trip, and she said yes.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, that is so different than 30 days. Like from Turkey to Vietnam is still insane. Like, yeah,
That's
and he
very
has a
cool.
beer almost every day. That's another connection to this show. Yeah, he has a different beer, I think, every day. He loves Guinness, but uh, like going through Belgium and Germany and Austria, he was getting free beers because people had heard of him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah,
All right. Um, shall we talk music and or sports?
sure.
Those are our typical
Yeah,
topics.
Detroit Pistons in the NBA playoffs. That's all. They're 1-1
Yippee!
against the Knicks. That's all I got for that. Really, I don't need.
Yes. I don't follow the NBA at all.
Yeah, we've said it so many times on 60 Minutes. That's why I started with it because I was like,
Yeah.
we get this out of the way quick, and yeah, I hope they do well. That's really all I have to say about that one. Um, how the Sox doing? I haven't been paying attention to baseball quite.
Well, they are the White Sox.
Oh, okay. Well,
Better than last year so far, I think. Although technically their offense is not off to a great start, and the early trend, if this trend continues the entire season, which I doubt because that's a very, very long time for it to be everyone in a slump. Um,
oh,
it's like Lenine Sosa is hitting well, and that's basically it. We've got some young guys that are up, got injury bugs, of course. Um, Defense, though, compared to last year, is light years ahead, which is good. But the
okay.
offense needs to come along. I think we'll finish under 500, but probably better than last year, which is a pretty low bar. But if we can get to like 40%, 45%, I would be happy.
Okay.
Tigers are looking good. Honestly, I think that it's their
All right.
division to lose.
It is, yeah, with the pitching
The
room
pitching
that
is just so good.
there's no one bad. It's just there's not. The offense is also where they're struggling though. They can't get bad on
They
ball.
certainly looked good against the Sox. That's all.
Well, yeah, they can look good, like because yeah, they have the ability.
Mhm.
It's the execution. Like even in the first series of the season against the Dodgers, I was just like, why can't we do this? Like their pitching was not anything super extraordinary, but I mean, obviously the Dodgers are very good. They have been for several years now, and I don't want to try and take that away from them. That
Right.
they're better than the Tigers, but yeah, I feel like the Tigers are trying to find an identity. Look at me, I sound so much like a sports analyst right now,
Yeah, I
but
mean it's true though. They
yeah,
they I
they
feel
have the
like
tool.
yeah, right now they're kind of just like even last year they were just kind of vibing on the power of friendship. Like
Yes, yeah,
they didn't really have, you know, a set like this is who we are. We're just like we're here, we're playing ball, we're vibing, but
yep,
that's not sustainable over the course of 162 games.
not at all.
I mean,
Yeah,
it can definitely help you. That's the kind of vibes you want to find maybe in September in a late push.
yeah,
Uh, but if you want to win the division and get through, because I mean, I don't think the Twins have looked terrible to start the year. And granted, they looked terrible to start last year, but I mean, I think the Twins are far streakier than the Tigers are. And Cleveland is just like they're so bipolar. They're so up and down.
oh
Like
yeah,
they'll get really hot, but then they'll get really cold. Um, I don't know. AL Central. I think it'll be the Tigers, and then I think it'll be Tigers, Twins, Cleveland, Royals, Sox.
Hmm.
That's my prediction as of April 23rd.
We'll have to remember that one. You want to go to hockey?
Yeah, Penguins stink.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah, Red Wings also stink.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I mean, if you want to talk about two teams that definitely should have made the playoffs when you looked at it on paper to start the season, and then just never found the way to win.
Yeah. Actually, Detroit in a lot of games found ways to lose.
Yeah,
So many. But
yeah, it's bad.
yeah,
But the Stanley Cup playoffs have started. Best
yeah.
postseason in the major sports, in my opinion.
Oh,
Um,
I think in a lot of people's opinion.
yeah,
I had my cousin the other day. So we have like 6 April birthdays. In our family, so we celebrate them all at once.
nice.
Uh, so while we were up there, he was we were watching the Masters, which is like I don't golf. I don't really know what to watch for. If people really like it, that's cool. It's just yeah. If I don't know why I'm watching, then I probably won't. But he was like, yeah, the NHL playoffs are supposed to be like the most exciting postseason that there is, and I don't watch hockey. And I was like, this would be a good time to start. But then probably don't pick it back up until next January after this postseason. It's like, because, man, October and NHL is kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends, right? It all depends on the team you're following. If you're in the midst of a rebuild, like if you're a Blackhawks fan, it was just misery. The
Mm,
entire season was misery. So, and I know I've said it on the show before. I think it's totally okay to be fans of multiple franchises, especially if there's like one on each side of the league, right? So, for
yeah,
NFL, it'd be like AFC, NFC, baseball, National League, American League, uh, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, in hockey. So, my Eastern Conference, my main team is the Penguins. My secondary team, Western Conference, is the Blackhawks. Oh, it's like not even worth watching.
Yeah.
It's like just follow him on Instagram, get the Connor Bedard highlights, and enjoy the tank and the high draft pick next year, and hopefully down the. I mean, there's a lot of exciting prospects for the Blackhawks, but in terms of NHL product on the ice, it's not going to be great probably for another 3 years. I mean, they did make that trade to acquire Spencer Knight in goal, and that was a huge acquisition because he's a dog, one of the best goalies in the league in my opinion. But yeah, the Penguins have been kind of flirting with a rebuild for the last couple of years. Ron Hextall ran the franchise into the ground, which I to this day believe was on purpose. Well, I mean, he's a former, like, he was a huge piece of the Flyers back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, okay.
And if you know anything about hockey, you know the Flyers and the Penguins hate each other's guts.
Yep.
So I was, and I'll even say, I did not understand that signing from the get-go. I was like, why would you ever want such a huge part of your biggest rival's franchise to be the head of yours? That just doesn't make any sense in any sport. Like, that doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
That'd be like Michigan State hiring Tom Brady. Like, no, we hate that guy. It's like or Harbaugh, even better. Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess Tom Brady, you can kind of bury the hatchet because of his success. Like,
nope.
I would feel bad about it. I don't. But yeah, he ran the franchise into the ground. Kyle Dubas, I think, has been doing a better job setting the team up for success in the future. I mean, a lot of people point to the Carlson trade being really bad, or signing, I guess, because I think he was a free agent. I don't even remember, but I don't know. Carlson is not an elite defender. He's an elite scoring defenseman. We knew this when we signed him. We knew he was getting old. We know that Crosby, Malkin, Letang are 1 to 2 years away from retiring. So the key is, can we get them one last run into the playoffs? I think maybe not next. I think next year we reach the playoffs. I think that in 2 years we could make a run, potentially, which would be probably Malkin and Letang's last year for sure. Crosby is just looking inhuman right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was born in 87, so that makes him 36, 37, somewhere in there. Right? 38?
Yeah, 38.
He'll turn 38 this year.
Okay.
So he's getting up there. But I mean, look at Alex Ovechkin. You know,
that's what I was thinking about.
Russian machine never breaks, you know?
Yeah.
And Sid, he just puts in so much work. He just broke Gretzky's record this year for consecutive over 1 point per game seasons at 20.
Jeez.
Which is just insane to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's not showing any signs of slowing down. I think Malkin and Letang have been battling injuries more than Sid. So, you know, time is of the essence, but it's going to be, I think, after the next 2 years, I think it'll be really dark times in Pittsburgh. But what can you do? That's how franchises go.
Yeah. Who you got for the cup?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough to say.
It's still early. I watched Senators Leafs the other night. It's too close to call, really. Like, they're both moderate. I don't know if I would see a winner in either of them.
No, I mean, the thing with the Leafs is they're perennial, like, choke jobs.
Oh, yeah. Almost every year. Yeah.
They could be the best team. Well, even look at Boston last year. Boston won the President's Trophy last year, and then I think they lost in the first round.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about getting hot at the right time. Well, and if you look at, I think it was 2015, the St. Louis Blues were last in the league in January and just put on an insane heater to end the season and ended up winning the cup. So it's all about getting hot at the right time. I mean, because everyone in the league is in the league for a reason.
Right. Right.
I think everyone's going to think the favorite is on the Oilers.
Yeah.
However, I like the Kings in this upset first round.
Really?
I
Wow.
do.
Okay.
I think, and I'll probably end up eating my words. It'll probably go to 7, but I think the Kings are finally going to get it done.
Huh.
Florida's looking good for a repeat. Um, I mean, I think they just decimated Tampa yesterday or 2 days ago. Like it was what 6-2, I think 7-2 maybe. It
I
was
can't
a
remember.
big number, especially for playoffs.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Wild upset the Knights. I don't think it'll happen. I want to see Marc Andre Fleury get as long as he can. I would
Yeah.
like to see him get another playoff win. Um,
Yeah.
Dallas and Colorado is an interesting matchup because I think the winner of that series has potential to go pretty far, probably at least to the Western Conference Final,
Mm. I always like the Avalanche. I don't know
which
if
is interesting as a Red Wings fan because you guys are supposed to hate each other.
I know it's, but I mean, I feel like that beef was so personal between it's Claude Lemieux and Darren McCarty, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, that was so specific to those two, and yeah, it was really cool to see that as a kid and continue seeing it every couple years. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look that up. Look up Colorado Avalanche Detroit Red Wings brawl, and it's probably the
Oh yeah,
first video that comes up.
there'll be a lot of videos.
Yeah, yeah. If you like goalie fights, that's a good place to start.
Oh yeah,
I know. I
yeah.
like McKinnon. He's exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm. McCarr is insane,
Makar is also really exciting to
and then
watch.
there's the Landeskog story. I I saw that he made his debut in the AHL on conditioning rehab assignment. I don't know if he's made it back to the pros or to the big show yet, but
Yeah.
that's a huge storyline.
Is this the guy that left the league for like several years and is trying to work his way back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. He had like a life-changing injury.
Yeah, it's like really bad. I don't remember exactly what I think it was a knee or a hip or something.
Yeah,
Something that people don't typically come back from at his age.
yeah. Well, and people are still definitely doubting him, especially sports analysts. I was just
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, all I can say is he looked really good in his AHL debut.
mm,
Like way better than anyone who's taken multiple years off of professional hockey should look.
right. Just shows you like game never leaves the body. I guess I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, it's all mental. If you
Yeah.
want it bad enough, especially those pro athletes, they're just wired different.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be an interesting playoffs for sure. I'm excited to watch it. Get bits and pieces. But honestly, since the Penguins aren't in it, my focus has been shifted kind of to MLB at this point. I
Gotcha.
had a goal this year to try and watch at least one inning of every game this year,
Oh,
like
cool.
as it's happening. I mean, obviously, like this past weekend, I didn't have reception sometimes, so I just like randomly would get reception and then just see the update. And I was like, oh, we lost.
Oh man.
We did beat Boston on I think it was Sunday, which was it's hilarious. We've got 5 wins and 3 of them are against Boston.
Man, that's hey, not bad.
Yeah, so hey, but yeah, I'm excited for baseball, even if we're gonna be terrible again. I'm all right with it.
Well, that's good. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, and I don't know if I
good
mentioned
sport.
my other team. So my National League team is the Pirates, and they also stink.
Yeah.
But it's like they've got some really exciting guys. They got Paul Skeens, obviously the most electric pitcher in baseball, in my
Mhm.
opinion. I mean, there's arguments for some others, but I think his stuff is just it's untouchable.
Mm.
They've got another guy, I think Mitch Keller. He's really good too. of course, you got the veteran Andrew McCutcheon. O'Neal Cruz is looking good. Brian Reynolds is looking good. Then everyone else is kind of just an NPC. And keep in mind, I say this as if the White Sox roster isn't almost entirely NPCs, but they're my NPCs, and I love them.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much our first half, unless we have any final thoughts on sports.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Go Pistons.
All right, so we're gonna rinse out our glasses, quote unquote, pour our next ones, quote unquote, and get back for the next segment. Welcome back to BYO Beats Podcast, your beer and music podcast. This is 60 Minutes with the Boys. We are in the second half of our 60 minutes. We've already talked a little bit about camping, a little bit about sports. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Dogs. We talked about dogs, too.
Dogs, too. Yeah.
And
Know what our life is about.
yeah. Work is another big part of life. You said you had an insane story.
Good God. Today, so this past weekend was Easter weekend, and it was quite the thing to happen. For some reason, we had a different manager, thankfully for me, do an open to close by herself on Good Friday. Don't know why. I didn't make the schedule, but that's what happened. So I came in Saturday, and she was like, yeah, my back is messed up. I need you to do a lot of the stuff today that involves heavy lifting. I was like, I could do that. So that was where we started. Easter Sunday wasn't really that bad. We were open our normal hours. Tons of carryouts. The church crowd came at noon. What you expect for any restaurant, really, especially a breakfast place. This is another thing. I was working 5 days straight, which doesn't happen that much, but takes a toll on anyone that's in a laborious job or laborious job. If you, yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Laborious. Yeah. Shout out to the Basement Yard podcast if you watch that. But I'll fast forward to today because the past few days were not super eventful. We have a new prep cook that's learning to prep, and he's learning from an 18-year-old girl who is our current part-time prep cook.
Oh.
She's very good, but she's still 18 years old and teaching about 30-year-old things. So it makes her kind of nervous. She has a hard time keeping an eye on him, and he's a little overzealous. He tries to work a little too quickly. So we have one batter that this wasn't all today. This happened in the last week, though. We have one batter that uses 150 eggs for a batch of it.
That's so many.
It's so many. Yes, it's about a case worth. And
oh, I'm sorry. How many servings will that provide?
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
It provides 8 gallons for a batch. Yeah, high volume. But honestly, we'll go through that in a day and a half.
Well, I mean, for a restaurant that checks out.
Yeah. So he's making that. We have 2 recipes in there, one for a single batch, one for a double batch. He accidentally put the eggs in for a double. So it's 300 eggs. So it was at first, okay, we'll be fine. We'll just have a little extra, or I mean, twice as much. But again, like I said, we'll go through it. So they even it out, make it work again, but then the recipe calls for powdered sugar, not granulated sugar.
Which for baking is a very, very big difference.
Yes. Powdered sugar offers a rising quality, and granulated sugar does not. And he was going too fast, didn't read powdered. So at 300 eggs plus probably 30 pounds of flour and a few other things went to waste because you can't use it, and there's nothing really that close that we could.
You can't even revive that.
No. So that wasn't great. I would say that's probably a $500 batter that is ruined.
Yeah, eggs are so expensive right now.
Yep. Don't worry. Our owners have it. Like they do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously that's not something that you ever want to happen.
Yeah.
Like wasting food in general is just something you never want to happen.
Yeah. So that takes us up to today. I know I said we were on today, but now we're actually on today. So the 18-year-old is allergic to citrus, which is fine. Like she was fine. No one was hurt or harmed in the course of this day. So she asked me to squeeze some lemon juice for her because they're gonna make our mushroom sherry sauce, which is like our substitute for hollandaise sauce on our. We have eggs Michael instead of eggs Benedict.
Nice.
It's so good. But it involves a gallon of sherry wine, which is not cheap. 16 pounds. No. 12 pounds of butter. Like a couple gallons of milk, a couple gallons of whipping cream. Lots of stuff. At the same time, they were making our tropical syrup, which goes on like banana pancakes and stuff like that. It has orange rind in it, like just like chopped up orange rind. So again, my 18-year-old prep cook couldn't be around that. So this new guy is slightly unsupervised. He starts the mixer to start mixing the tropical syrup. It is set to high instead of to low. He turned it on for about 2 or 3 seconds. That was everywhere, including in the already started mushroom sherry sauce.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Somehow, most of the tropical syrup was still in the mixing bowl. So we still got a full batch of that.
All right.
Yeah. So our regional manager was there at the time, and he was just like, "Oh, you guys can save this. You can save this." We're just like, "No, we can't. No, we really can't." Like this, the flavors of sherry and mushroom do not go with orange and pineapple very well. They just don't. So we had to throw it out. Luckily, cream and milk and butter is not as overpriced as eggs are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay. The sherry wine was really the only expensive thing.
Yeah.
So I go back to our prep area and see the syrup everywhere, though. And again, this is at the end of a 5-day stint, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I gotta go. Like I walked away, and I went up to the regional manager who didn't know anything about this at the time. I was like, I don't know what to do. And about 45 minutes before this, he came up to me and said, "Anything fun today?"
Not yet, but about 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I go back there, try to help this new prep cook clean. He's just like, "No, I got it." And me, who's still not really knowing what to do, just listened to him like an idiot. I was just like, "Okay, bye." I left. So the other manager goes and helps him, like a person would. So I'm standing in front of our walk-in cooler, where one of I don't know why our walk-in cooler opens out. into a pretty high trafficked area.
Hmm.
So you kind of have to watch through the window while you're opening the door to make sure that people aren't going by so you don't hit anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have a server that was trying to do his side work and leave very quickly. He does it every day. He rushes through the side work because he has another job, he has a girlfriend, he has this and that to do. He's very good, but God, he moves too fast. He's carrying a 5-gallon bucket of frozen strawberries, which have been thawing in the walk-in cooler. He opens the door. It hits me. It bounces off of me, hits him. He drops the bucket of strawberries. It opens, and all of them go on the floor.
Oh,
This is while the tropical syrup is still all over the wall.
no.
Like, this was within 10 minutes
Oh no.
of happening. And I was like, this is a dream. This is not real. This is
It's like a TV show.
Yeah. So, yeah. I didn't know. I mean, at that point, I was just like, okay, broom, dustpan. I guess we're going to put liquid into a dustpan now. But, like,
Oh man.
and then I go outside. My regional manager's car is parked in front of the dumpster that I'm about to put a 5-gallon bucket of strawberries into. I was like, wouldn't that be great if I dropped this bucket on his car?
Oh man. That's wild.
Yeah.
My work is not nearly so exciting.
I
Well, I guess so every month I'm responsible for doing like redeployments of our stuff. So after business hours, we have to like take down our environments and re-put them back up with the updates for every month.
Okay.
And so this last month, and keep in mind, since I've been starting doing this in December, well, January on my own, never had a hitch. No problems ever. Except for this time, one of my components in one of my environments, the most important one, I went to validate that it was up, and it would just like, it would let me log in, and then it would load and load and load and load, and then crash and kick me out. And I tried on like 3 different accounts, load and load and load, crash. And at this point, I had been trying, like, it's already after hours, so it starts about, I started about 6:45 my time, and then I kicked everything off. We went out for an hour and came back. And I came back and, well, some of my deployments, I didn't realize I needed to press a second permit button. So it had just been sitting there waiting for me to hit another button for an hour. And that was the longest one, of course. So I restarted that one, yeah. And then by the time everything had finished, it was like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I own my coworker who's in Poland because they're allowed to do some things, but some things have to be done by a U.S. citizen just based on like weird rules. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on. This is the problem. I will check in again at like 3 o'clock my time to see if we can get on a call. And because that's before the window closes at 5 a.m. my time that would be 7 a.m. Eastern time for like the next work day where you can't touch the environments anymore. So I'm like, I'm going to check in at 3 and we'll see what it is. So
3 a.m.
3 a.m. for me. So I go to bed. I wake up at 3. I turn off my alarm. I had fallen asleep again. I wake up at 3:15 again, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go right now. So I run into my other room. I sent him a message. Well, he had responded because they're on the time difference. And he's like, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. Just let it do its thing. It might fix itself. And I double checked at 3:15, and it was still broken. And then he told me to go back to bed, so I went back to bed. He's like, don't worry about it. Don't panic. It'll be all right. I'm like, I'm trusting you right now. So I went back to bed, log in the morning. We check with our main people who use the app who are in Central Time. And they're like, yeah, everything's fine. And, of course, this is about 8 a.m. my time, so 9 a.m. Central. At some point between 3, 15, and 8, it figured itself out and fixed itself.
See, this is something I don't understand about technology. That just like it fixes itself so often just by trying it again.
So basically, what the best I can describe is I think what had happened is I had done our respins at the same time as another team had been doing the same respins,
Okay.
and they collided with each other. And mine just kept trying again, and because it's designed to just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. So once
I
the
see.
other team finished it and fixed itself, then my app was like, oh, okay, we're all right now.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Scared the crap out of me though, for sure.
I would think so. Yeah. Like,
Let's talk music. We haven't talked music yet.
oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
What have you been listening to recently?
Recently, you've heard of Ren?
Spell it.
REN?
REN. No.
No. Oh,
What
okay.
genre?
Yeah. So many. So I would say mostly rap.
Okay.
Um, but he does a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of a smart guy in general. Uh, very talented rapper, but also just in general a lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
There's, oh gosh, it's worth looking up. Give me 30 seconds.
Okay. While you are looking that up, I'll talk about what I've been listening to. Mostly the same that I've been listening to all year.
Okay.
A lot of the same stuff, a lot of Real Friends, Hot Mulligan. But recently, what's been getting more plays is Free Throw and Heart Attack Man. So that's kind of like that same, genre-ish, but that kind of like post emo, post hardcore kind of.
Yeah.
Not quite post hardcore, but I've been listening to that at the gym, of course. Polaris is good. Wolf Road, We Weren't Invited. Chicago Legends. System of a Down, of course. Like that's usually what's on there. But I've also been trying to dabble more into the jazz and classical, like get myself back into that. During March Madness, I found it more enjoyable to turn off the TV, like just turn it on mute, and I'd listen to like classical music while it happened. It helped keep me more calm than listening to the announcers because I get very, very riled up when they say dumb things.
Yeah, I do too.
So I guess it was more during the Big Ten tournament, I think. Or actually, you know what? I think it was the last game of the regular season against Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I put the game on mute and I listened to Mahler 5 on my speaker, and that was a very good experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing that. The Jesus Molina departing, that's been
Yeah.
like on my Sundays. I found like definitely into that album.
Yeah.
And then of
Thank you,
course.
Remus.
Oh yeah, Remus! Shout out Remus for that rec. That was awesome. And then I think I mentioned last month about like the folky country.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like Zach Bryan and like Tyler Childers and Waylon Wyatt, Sam Barber. Those are my favorites. We're actually going to Stagecoach Festival this weekend. So
Okay.
next week on the live stream, I'll be able to give my mini review of that. That should be fun.
Right. Well, hell yeah. All right, I've found the things that I wanted. The song is I should have remembered it. It's called Hi Ren.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of a emotionally draining song though. It's him. The music video is him in a hospital gown with a guitar in what looks to be an abandoned basement. And most of the music is like one note at a time, and he's having a conversation with his subconscious. who is maybe not subconscious, maybe his depression, maybe his very emotional, very high stress type of a song.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing he does. Uh, so he's also a guitarist, and he likes to do his own version of like very famous songs, and that's with his band called Big Push.
Mm-hmm.
They did a War Pigs
Ooh.
version of the song, their version of War Pigs. Also, I Shot the Sheriff by Mob Barley.
Mom
Yes, Mob
Barley.
Barley. Yes. Bob Marley. And that's fantastic. That one you might have seen. It went viral a couple of months ago, just like the beginning of it. You can also look up. Are you someone that watches reaction channels or not so much?
Not really.
No, okay. They're one of my favorite things. I don't know why. I my favorite reactions to watch are drum corps reactions.
Mm.
Just because I feel like not enough people know about that. And so when I see people on the internet watching it, I'm just like, yeah, someone else knows now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can text you some of these videos too if you want. Another one, Ren rapping.
So would you consider him to be like similar to Tyler the Creator at all? Just in like that kind of headspace where he's at, where he tries to like not stick to a specific genre?
I would, yeah, probably. Uh, yeah, in the same way as Tyler, his lyrics are the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but also, yeah, when you do, I Shot the Sheriff, or when he does, I Shot the Sheriff, it's just so different and his own take, and his guitar playing is the part that is telling the story.
Mm. That's
It's
cool.
just, yeah,
I feel like that's kind of a lost thing nowadays.
playing guitar that well, or
Well, like when you see someone break on the scene, like being so talented, multifaceted, like I don't know.
yes,
I'm
yeah,
having a hard time like putting words into what I'm trying to
I
say,
know what you
but
mean. Like similar to when, like, yeah, we'll relate it to sports. It's easy. Like athletes that are told from a young age don't play any other sport just so that they don't get hurt, and
mm-hmm.
then they can play the one sport forever. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't care for that.
Even though don't do that. There's hundreds of studies that say don't do that.
Yeah, I know. But like, I hate to say it because I feel like we pick on pop artists a lot on this podcast for being pop artists. Maybe that's just me, but the songs that if you heard the first 30 seconds of them and you w- wouldn't be able to tell what song it was, but you knew it was this person doing it. Did you need all 10 of those different songs? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard a song by Ren that sounded like another song. So,
Cool. Have to check him out.
yeah.
All right, and then now for our last 3 minutes here, I wanted to do something similar to what I did last month.
Oh, you got another one?
I got
Yes.
another
Yeah.
one. Okay, so think of like sitcom friend groups. All right, or like the main like group. This can be any sitcom, right? So like Friends, Seinfeld. Oh my gosh, I had a whole list earlier, and then I just totally blanked on all of them. But like How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
like friend
New
groups,
Girl.
New
The
Girl,
Office.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If you could put yourself into any of those groups, which one would it be and why?
Whoa. Okay. So I'm putting myself in as myself.
As yourself, yes.
Okay. Ooh.
It's definitely an interesting
This is
question.
it's so good though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go with any of the 90s ones just
Hmm.
because the 90s sitcoms were so intentionally problematic
Right.
But I don't think I
Yeah.
could deal with any of those
Oh yeah,
people.
like I was thinking like Seinfeld. If I was in
Holy
that friend group, George would just drive me nuts.
Yep, and Elaine too,
Oh,
honestly.
all of them, all four of them would drive you nuts, and that's why it's a good TV show because at
Right.
some
Yeah.
points you're like, I just. Grr.
Yep. There's even times where I turn that show off because I was just like, I don't need your bullshit right now.
Yeah.
But
Or even like Trailer Park Boys, like
oh, I couldn't.
I
I
could,
couldn't do it.
I
No,
couldn't.
I'd be
It's
too scared
hilarious to
to do
laugh
that
at, but
actually.
I could not put myself in that situation.
No, if I have
Having
a
to
friend,
diffuse like Ricky and Julian and Leahy, like
yeah.
I feel like I would just like go off with bubbles, be like, these guys are just messed up in the head.
Yep. That's yes, I would be trying to convince Bubbles to leave the trailer
Like,
park.
let's move, bro. Let's move.
Um, the first one that jumped to mind was Parks and Rec.
Mm,
'Cause,
yeah, that's a good mix.
yeah, because yeah, if you get tired of anybody, you can fuck off and find someone else. But
That's a good answer, yeah.
I don't think I would hang out with Leslie Knope very much.
No,
Um,
I think it would be. I think she would be hard to hang out with outside of work at first.
yeah,
Like, but I
just
mean,
like watching the show,
yeah.
see, it takes some warming up.
Hmm.
But I don't think I'd be friends with Anne that much. I mostly was thinking of Andy and April,
Yeah.
and also Ron would be fun. Like if he wasn't annoyed by me,
Right.
then we would get along.
Yeah.
And then Donna's fun too. Like who else?
Aziz Ansari, his character, whose name I haven't watched Parks and Rec in years. I forgot his name on the show.
Tom.
Tom, yes.
Yeah,
He's a character.
that would be to hang out with Tom and John Ralphio
Oh my gosh.
once in a blue moon would be cool too.
Yeah, they're the type of guys you like go get hammered with on the what was it, the snake juice?
Yeah, oh
That
my
episode
God.
is hysterical.
What's the guy's name? Is he played the guy that does the colognes. Uh, he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine also as Rose's boyfriend for a little bit.
Oh, I don't know the actor's name, but he's the guy with the beard and the crazy hair and always
Yeah,
acts
plays
as
himself in every. Yeah,
he plays a completely crazy person all the time.
yeah. He voices Jay on Big Mouth, I think.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, he'd be the only person on that show that I'd be like, oh, never mind, I don't want no, go away.
Yeah. I think my answer would be How I Met Your Mother. I think I would be able to fit into that group really well. I think I
Okay,
would be able to find different things among each of the different like characters to be pretty good about,
yeah,
but also not too close to any one of them to be like just part of like their best friend, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, that's a good answer too. Like,
It's kind of a lame answer because I think that's the most I mean aside from Seinfeld, I think that's the most realistic like accurate to actually how life works group.
that's true. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Like, Friends is okay. I
Yeah, but I
think I
mean it's
would,
like
I think I would try to punch Ross in the
yeah, oh
face.
my gosh. It's like
Um,
The whole Ross and Rachel thing, I feel like the rest of that friend group was way stronger than I am because I would just be sick of them. I'd be done with
yep,
them. Like I'd be like, you two need to like figure your stuff out and I'm not gonna be a part of this.
yep. Um, I would want to be Joey Tribbiani's
Oh
roommate.
yeah. I think he'd be a
Uh,
great roommate. Just
yeah,
so
yeah,
so you never know what's gonna happen.
yeah.
But also in a good
Although
way.
our apartment would be fucking disgusting.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. What would other be like absolutely terrible answers? Always
oh man,
Sunny. That'd be a terrible answer.
that would be a terrible answer.
But that
Although
show
I
is great because of how terrible they are.
yeah, exactly. Well, and yeah, it's the more modern Seinfeld.
Right,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
What else?
I thought
I
about like older shows. Like, did you ever watch Cheers?
I didn't, but
No.
I mean, there's a reason why it went on for so long, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's a very homey show,
Mm.
if that makes sense. Like,
No, it
but
makes sense. It's like
yeah,
Americana in a TV
yeah,
show, right? Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. And I would have said that's an easy answer because
Mm.
it takes place in a bar every episode,
Hmm.
and yeah, we can be in a bar and have a
Every
good time
episode. Yeah.
every time. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a cop out. I thought about Three's Company.
I haven't seen that one either.
No, that one is it's a little too old, honestly, to
Mm.
fit. So it's two girls and a guy that are all roommates. They're lying to their landlord, saying that the guy is gay, and he's not. He's not with either of the girls either, but they wouldn't let him live there
Oh,
if he
I
was.
see. I see.
Yeah, and it's every episode is literally just a misunderstanding that happens.
Hmm.
So like they'll hear a phone call from the other room, and they think they hear something that is like horrible. So they are running around trying to make sure the horrible thing that's not going to happen doesn't happen. Uh, yeah, stuff like that. There's actually a joke in Friends where Chandler and they're all watching Three's Company,
Hmm.
and Chandler goes, "Oh, I think this is the one with the misunderstanding." And like the audience laughs, and I was watching it with my sister who hadn't seen Three's Company that much. She's like, "What does that mean?" It's like, I guess we gotta watch Three's Company. But
Yeah. I think one last because we're about 5 minutes over here, but I
yeah.
couldn't go without mentioning Community.
Oh,
I feel like Community. I wouldn't be able to sustain myself in that environment. I think it's just too unhinged at sometimes.
yeah.
Like I could not be a part of that study group. I could not.
Oh, definitely not. Well, yeah, I
I don't even
wouldn't
know if I could be a
personally.
student at that school. Like,
No, definitely not. Yeah, not with like the what did they call it? The is it fort contest or was it something else?
oh yeah, there's that. There's the paintball thing, the paintball saga that always
Paintball
happens.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, if you shoot me in the face with a paintball, that I'm calling the police. Like,
Amazing show, but
yeah,
I could not put myself in that situation.
yeah. The, I would hang out with Abed and Troy for a day.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could hang out with any individual one of them. Maybe not Pierce,
No, not Pierce. Yeah,
but
no.
the rest of them, I feel like I could have a conversation or hang out with, but not all together, not with all the hijinks that go on in that show.
No, I would just
Maybe 5 years ago when I was in college, I'd be a little bit more down for it, but
maybe, yeah,
now as a more adult, I think it'd be difficult. But
yeah.
that's gonna bring up our time. If you would like the show, make sure you check us out on social media. We're most active on Instagram at BYBeats_podcast. We post our episodes Spotify, YouTube. We'll live stream on Twitch every time there's a fifth Wednesday, which is this month, April 2025. We will be live streaming next Wednesday, and whenever we can find the time to do it, which is not often because we're both busy people, but we're going to try and do our best to do that more in the future. Um, our link tree has everything that we do on it. linktr.ee/byobeats. That's got all of our stuff, like our master playlist of every song that's been featured on every episode. We talk about that when we do our regular interview episodes. Yeah, if you want to get in contact with us, you have a beer to try, artist to interview, general advice or feedback, you can send us an email at byobeats.business@gmail.com. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Bring us
For
home.
us here, yeah, yeah. For us here at BYO Beats, thank you for listening to 60 Minutes with the Boys. And remember, musicians are people too, especially with more beer.